Okay. So there's a couple new girls on here that like literally just started. So they have no idea who you guys are or what your story is. So if you could just start with that, just like a quick overview of how you got started and stuff, and then we can just hop right into the questions.
Cass, do you want to go and I can just go off of your story? Wait, Cass, can't hear you.
You're unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Maybe it's something with the audio. I can go while she's figuring it out. So,
Okay.
3 years ago, it's going to be 3 years in April. Cassie came up on the opportunity through, her upline Taylor through Instagram, and at the time we were both broke college students. I was working 2 jobs. Cassie was working multiple jobs, and we still couldn't make ends meet. We were still living paycheck to paycheck. I remember we would like joke around and argue like who's driving on the weekend because we would take turns because we couldn't afford to drive 2 weekends in a row because of gas. It was that bad. And it's so funny to look at now because it's like so many things have changed. But Cass joined It Works, and 3 days later she was like, why don't you just do this with me? I had no idea what I was doing. I was actually at the time thinking of looking for a third job on top of going to school full time. So I joined It Works, and there was this $1,000 bonus going on. And me and Cass had no idea what we were doing, like no idea whatsoever. We literally joined and we figured everything out, and kind of just winged it. We were like literally ignorance on fire. So for those of you who are new and you're like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing, that's okay, because we didn't either. We literally just joined and we just watched Jade's videos and we learned, and we knew we had to get 4 customers. So that's what we did. So, kind of fast forward for me, it was like a month into the business, I promoted to Ruby. 3 months in, I promoted to Diamond. On my 9th month, I promoted to Double. The month later, I promoted to Triple, and a year later, I promoted to Presidential. So, so much has changed within the last 3 years. I can go on and on, but the biggest thing I can say is like, for those of you, especially who are new, find your why and stick with that. That's going to be one of the biggest things, because if you feel discouraged, if you feel like you want to give up, you always remember your why, and that's going to outweigh all the discouragements and all the negativity and all that. So have a strong why so you can stick with that, and it will take you so far into this business, and it'll never like give you that like, oh, like I'm going to give up, or, oh, like I can't do this kind of feeling, because we all go through tough times in the business. But for me, I always remember why I got started and why I would never want to go back to living in the situation I was in before this business. And that just drives me to push harder.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I think it was my laptop. I just got my phone. Okay, so I joined right before Nate joined. Literally, it was April of 2015, so it's been almost 3 years now. And at the time, I was 20 years old. I was going to school full time. I was working 3 part-time jobs. So I just was like super busy. Like I was always consumed with either working or going to school. And at the time, I was living with my boyfriend at the time, husband now, Spencer. So we had like real bills to pay. Like we had a rent to pay, like real bills that, adults had. So I was always working and trying to find ways to make money, but I was like always broke. He worked like 4 jobs. He was always hustling to make money, but we were always literally living paycheck to paycheck, scraping by. And that's when I found Taylor on Instagram. I watched her for about like 3 months. It took me a while to get started. I was a customer first. And then like literally a week after I was a customer, I'm like, I just need to do this. Like I just had like this like weird feeling inside. Like it kept coming up, and I just like knew I had to try it. It was literally just God telling me I had to do it. But I had such a good feeling about it, and I literally knew nothing about it. Never did anything like this before. I never took a marketing class a day in my life. Like Nay said, I was literally ignorance on fire. We both were. So I just took the leap of faith one day, joined, and we had a lot of naysayers in the beginning, and I mean we still do to this day. We had a lot of people making fun of us, discouraging us, a lot of people in our town like telling us that we couldn't do it. We were basically like the laughing stock of our town, and I feel like that motivated me so much even more to prove them wrong and be successful. And my first month in, I went Ruby. Second month in, I went Diamond. Third month in, that was Double Diamond. So I promoted like super, super fast in the beginning, but also like realized like I like worked this business like a business since day one. Like I don't know what it was. Like the moment I started, like I just like had this like something inside me just like I just knew like this was it. Like, I guess I just caught the vision really fast. I was literally working nonstop. If I was at school, I was on my phone. During breaks at work, I wasn't supposed to have my phone. I had my phone anyways. I didn't go out. I always worked my business, and I just like figured it out. Like Nate said, like we plug into videos. I watched other successful people. I just copied what they were doing, and obviously, like us being best friends and we joined together, like we were helping each other. So I think that obviously had a lot to do with it, being so successful in the beginning. And then I went triple diamond 10 months in. And then a little bit over a year later, I went presidential. And then 5 months later, went ambassador. And that was May of last year. So it's been crazy because of this business. Now I'm 23 years old. Me and Spencer, we got married. This is all we do full time. Like he does this business with me. This past summer, we moved down to Florida. It's been my dream for so long to live somewhere warm. And because we have the freedom now, we were able to move down. So we've been able to do so much, but that's just basically like a quick summary of like how we started and where we are now.
So you were in, shut up. So you were in college and working several jobs while you promoted to double?
Well, I joined in April of 2015, so like school ended right in May. So I wasn't really going to school because I promoted to double in July. So school was only like the first month of it. I ended up dropping out of school. That was like another reason, like Nate said, like you have to find your why. Like I always hated school. I never found a major or something that I was passionate about. I was kind of just like doing it just to do it, obviously, because that's what everyone does. They go to school, right? And once I found this, like this was my passion. And that is like what led me to keep going and going and going and pushing because I loved this so much. And I saw the money potential. I saw that other people were doing this full time as a career and I wanted that too. So that obviously pushed me to make this my full-time career and not have to go back to school because let's face it, you don't need school to be successful. I mean, if you like school, that's great, but that's not always the end.
So what do you personally say, like just going off of that? Because I know this is something that a lot of people struggle with. We sign up distributors and they give us all these reasons why they're so busy that, you know, they don't have time to message or they don't have time to do this. Like, what do you say to those people when they're telling you that?
I feel like everybody has the time. Like messaging doesn't take a long time at all. You know, even though I wasn't in school the full time, I was still working a lot. I worked like literally 3 jobs. I was like bartending and cleaning on the weekends. I was a receptionist during the week, and then did I say babysitting? Yeah, I was like doing a lot of different things. So I was really busy, but like I just like wanted this so bad that I found the time. I feel like everybody has the time, and everyone has downtime. It's just like what you choose to do with it. Are you going to go watch Netflix and go hang out with your friends or go to the bar that night? Or do you want to just sit down and work? Like to me, it was more rewarding and addicting to do this business because that was going to pay out so much more than anything else. So I just feel like they just need to find a why and find the reason why they're doing this and why they needed to work for themselves. Because, you know, once you catch the vision, like you're going to keep going, like nothing's going to stop you. So I feel like people just don't find it as important enough in the beginning, you know?
Definitely. So I'm just gonna hop right into these questions. Let's kind of like, I don't know if I should like go in order or like, okay. So one of the first questions is about making like a second Instagram account. So I know you guys have like multiple Instagram accounts. So how long did you wait before you started building on a second one? And do you wait until you get a certain amount of followers before you start messaging on that account?
For me, I made my second one when I got close to like 7,000, just because, you know, like once you get to 7,500, like it's hard to like follow like so much. Obviously you keep on following, so then you're able to follow more. But, you know, I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to branch out. Like I didn't at first. Like that's the biggest thing is if you have an Instagram already, do not make a second one. Work on your first one because it's already built. It already has a lot of followers. You have pictures on it. You know, and if you make a new one, you're just singling out people that are already following you and you're saying, oh, they're not interested. Like I'm going to make a new one and branch out for those people. So I made my new one, I think, like I said, around like 6,900, 7,000 people I was following. And I started following like people before I started messaging. I think you have to get to like a certain amount until it gets to like a certain order. You know what I mean? Because then if you go into your followers, it's like all out of whack. So I think it's about 200 followers you have to have for it to like go into an order. But while I was following, I got to 200 pretty fast. But while I was following, I was building my profile and posting a lot. And, you know, in the meantime, like I was able to grow that super fast. And now I think I have like 4,000 followers on it. But, you know, it's awesome to have both. But if you don't make a new one to start this business. Start this business with the one you have right now. Because honestly, I feel like that's what helped. That was like one of the key factors that helped us become so successful, because people that were already following me from like months ago were the ones buying from me. You know, not friends, just like random followers that I would randomly get, like bought from me. So if I made a new one, I would have singled out those people and they wouldn't have bought.
I had myself muted. Okay, awesome. Let me see if there's any other Instagram questions while we're in here. So, do you guys interact a lot with your followers? Like, because, well, obviously you guys get a shit ton of likes on your pictures because they're really good, like blogger style posts. But do you guys do a lot of interaction to boost your algorithms?
To be honest, I honestly don't do it as much as I should. Like every now and then, if I have time, I will. But honestly, no. Like I just think it's super important to post high quality, bright, nice edited looking pictures, and that's what's going to attract people to like it. Obviously, the algorithm is super important. It's kind of weird now. So as long as, if you guys don't know about it, you can Google it and you can read up about it. There's super small little tips that you can do to try to beat it. In certain time of the day to post, it's better. But interaction is great. Like I do it sometimes, but I'm not really consistent with it like I should be.
And you don't build out all on Facebook, right? Just Instagram?
Yeah, I'm just on Instagram. I mean, I post on Facebook.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, because I know you post a little bit more on Facebook, Nayara, but you don't.
Yeah, I'll post like, there's like some things I'll honestly, like I forget to post on Facebook. I remember like a couple months ago, like I was very consistent with posting on Facebook, but like I won't actually like grow like my, like, you know, like friend request people and message people on there. You know what I mean? Like I just love the simplicity of Instagram, that I can literally click, follow, and post. You know, Facebook is just a little more difficult. You know, if you do Facebook, that's awesome. I just really like Instagram and how it's just very simple to use. But yeah, I post sometimes on Facebook when I remember.
But that's not like part of, like, you're not messaging people daily on Facebook.
No. I've gotten some people from Facebook who message me, but not for me reaching out to them. I just sometimes post here and there when I remember, but I really just focus on growing my business on Instagram for sure.
Okay. So when you guys are messaging, do you message about the business or do you message for customers and then flip to PDTs? Do you message for both?
Well, I found, like, I used to message for customers, for distributors like a year ago. And, you know, I got good feedback from it, but then like, I don't know, but then it would be like, some people would be like, what is this? You know, like, and I started, like, there was one day that I literally like was going through my followers and I was like messaging 10 people per hour. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try this. So I started messaging just for customers. And I've been consistently posting like so many times throughout the day. Well, not so many times, but like if I post today, like mostly 3 of those live posts. And I've been enrolling so many distributors every single month just for that. You know, and I used to never be a mass enroller of distributors. So I really focus on messaging for customers. And if they tell me they can't afford it, then I turn it into a potential distributor. But I really don't message post like a ton for distributors. Like if you look at my Instagram, you'll see some product posts, mostly life posts, because I'm constantly messaging for customers. So I'm getting my customers that way. And my distributors are geared more towards like my life posts on my Instagram.
So you have a lot of people reaching out, like that's how you're signing, is just making really good life posts.
Yeah, it's just like posting quality pictures, like Cass said. You know, quality doesn't have to be like, there's people who said to me, oh, like you live in Florida. You know, it doesn't have to, that's not quality. Quality means like good lighting, not blurry pictures, edited nicely, you know, and just not like, you know, dark pictures. That's what I feel like, just posting good pictures, posting good caption, you know, and just posting consistently throughout the day about the business. You know, obviously I utilize stories too, but I post a lot of life posts. Like, you know, like I said, if I post 2 to 3 times a day, they'll probably all be life posts.
Yeah.
Because I get a lot of customers through messaging.
Yeah, definitely. So you just said like, so you message 10 people an hour. Is that still what you are doing? You're still messaging 10 hourly? Someone asked, if you are signing, like you're signing up new distributors and they work full time or they're in school and they can't be on their phone, how do you like advise them to message and build? If they
Okay,
can
well,
in an hour.
I mean, I sign up like people my age, you know, like college students. I was just on the phone with a girl last night and she was like getting a little overwhelmed. And I'm like, girl, like you do not need 24 hours of the day to work this business. You know, like if you sit, like I told her, like I would wake up before school a little earlier and I would post. If it was not too early, I would post and then I would follow and I would message 10 people. Then I would answer their messages when I could, you know, when I sat down in class before the professor walked in, you know, because they're always late. On my way to my next class. When you put it into perspective for people like that and you let them know like little increments of time is what is going to change your business. Because, you know, for me, I didn't have a lot of time. You know, I was going to school full time and I was working on the days that I wasn't in school. So I was literally between certain things and doing homework and writing essays, you know, but it's just the little times that you can find, like when you wake up, between classes, you know, going to like while you're waiting in the parking lot before you go into your job, or like at night before bedtime. Those little times is what is going to be incremental to your business, because that's what helped me promote so fast in the beginning, and 3 months later I quit both of those jobs and I've been doing this full time since then. So, you know, I didn't have a lot of time. I just made use of the time that What?
I said I was just going to ask you that. When did you quit your job? So 3 months after you started. So after you went diamond.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was like still living with my parents. So like, you know, if you're not comfortable where you are in the business, don't go quitting, you know, your jobs and stuff. I was still living at home. You know, I didn't really have bills yet until I moved out of my mom's house. But, you know, for me, you know, that's where I was comfortable enough where I could quit those jobs and focus on my business and be able to still obviously pay for everything I had to pay for, you know, but that's when I was able to quit all the jobs when I went diamond. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So hi Cam. So Mandy, can you mute yourself? Okay, so this is from a girl that she's one of my leaders. So she knows you guys have like super close relationships with your girls that are on your team. How do you build up relationships with distributors that aren't local to you?
I mean, I was really grateful in the beginning to have people that were local. It so happened to be that Emily, who's one of my leaders, only lived like 20 minutes away, and then Nicole was like 30 minutes away. So that was honestly complete coincidence. Other than that, like with everyone else, like we would be Zooming like almost every single night, just getting to know each other, literally like building that relationship over Zoom, and we'd be working together. And that's literally how we hung out. But I think if you do have people local to you, you should get together with them. I used to do a work Wednesday every single week, and people would come over consistently every single week. We'd get together, and they were over every other day too. But that was just like one day a week where every single person came and we worked, we hung out, we got dinner, and it was just like a really good bonding time. And people were able to bring their distributors too that were brand new, and they were able to see that like, you know, our life was real, and that where we were living and the car that we drove and that we did this whole time was all like real. I guess it's different to see it for your own eyes than just to hear about it on Instagram. So, I mean, if you don't have local people to you, I definitely would just do Zooms and do phone calls, like just anything just to stay connected. Now that I'm in Florida, obviously, like I have a whole Connecticut team that's still there, but You know, they come and visit all the time. We still are in constant communication every single day. And just because I built those relationships, like now they're going to do the same thing with their team. So it kind of just like trickles down and it just starts like this whole amazingness of relationships. So, I mean, if you don't have anyone local to you, just get on FaceTimes, get on Zooms. That's what everyone else does. And if you do, open your house up to people and get together with them. Or if you don't want them to have them at your house, go to Starbucks once a week and have little Starbucks dates or something, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So you do like working Zooms. We do that like every
Yeah,
night. Like me and my leaders, we just hang out on Zoom and
exactly.
all. Awesome. So when you sign up a new distributor, like how do you get them started and how like what kind of support do you offer them during their first 30 days?
I
So
mean,
I have
for
this.
me, what
No,
you
you
can
can
go.
go. No, you can go. Sorry.
Okay. For me, I literally just try to be very simple about what I do with them. Like I will add them into our team page. I just welcome them. And then I ask if they're available to watch 2 videos that I really like on our team page. They say yes. They watch the videos literally within like the first like hour of them starting. They watch those videos. And then they let me know. And then I have them come up with like a dirt list of 30 people that they can come up with right off the bat, like who, like, you know, if they were pregnant tomorrow, who like would be there to help them out, you know, or if they were sick, who are the 30 people that they can count on? And they make that list and then they text me saying, okay, I'm done. And then I have like this little message I send to them to send to those 30 people. And I say, okay, let's do this in 5 so it doesn't get too overwhelming for them. And they send the message to those people. And once they start responding, what I like focus on so much is just helping them with conversations. Like I literally tell them, do not answer any conversation without screenshotting it to me. Because I tell them, like, if I can enroll every day with what I'm saying, like you're gonna be able to do the same thing. And I've been enrolling like a ton of newbies. And I've been enrolling and they've been enrolling too, just because I've been working so hard with them on like focusing on them messaging me first when they are talking to people. And it's been so crazy. Like I just enrolled a girl like 2 days ago and she's already enrolled her 3rd customer. You know, it's just, but it's because I'm giving them the support of wording conversations with them and staying in contact with them. Obviously, like, you know, you enroll people and like a couple will work. You know, it's not every single person that's going to work. But you know what? I don't care because I'm going to work with the, like, let's say I enroll 20 distributors a month. I'm going to work with the 4 that are really, really working. You know, and it's so crazy. People are like, oh my God, like only 4 work, but that's fine because, you know, like those 4 can be, you know, your next, I don't know, diamonds on your team. You know, you have to just give the attention to the ones that are reaching out to you constantly. Of course, I reach out to them and I say, hey girl, how's it going? Like, what can I help you with? And if they don't answer, I reach out 2 more times. And then, you know, the 3rd strike is kind of like where I leave it be. But I'm working with the ones who are just working with me and I'm having them post what I post. And then I'm having them, you know, just send me messages. And then I start having them message on Instagram as well.
Okay, awesome. Cassie, did you want to add anything to that?
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. I think the most important thing is walking them through their conversations because if not, they're going to butcher them.
Yeah. So when, like, how do you guys transition from having them like screenshotting you conversations to them like being more like on their own having conversations?
I think it just like all depends like when they become comfortable. Like, you know, after even a couple days or a week or 2, like they're gonna notice like how repetitive every conversation is. So once they have like all the common scripts in their phone and for the products and everything, once they say they're comfortable, like they can just go. And then if anything like comes about where they have like a tough conversation, obviously they can keep sending it. But if they're starting to sign people up on their own, I think they can like build the confidence to do it on their own. You know, practice makes perfect. After a couple days, couple weeks, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, and like for me, like with my girls, like after me sending all these scripts, I'm always telling them, save these in your notes because you're going to get asked the same question like over and over again the next couple days and you're already going to have like it in your notes with what to say. So it's kind of like you know, they asked me all this help, like, you know, in the beginning, and obviously they're still staying in contact with me, but like I'm drilling into them so much with scripts and with how to word things, how to go about things, like how to create the sense of urgency, that they have all this information in their notes. And it's starting to be like, for me, my girls are coming to me and they're just sending screenshots and they're saying, okay, is this worded correctly? And all I say is yes or no, and then I correct it. So they're already starting to, like, you know, it's kind of like they already know like what they have to say, kind of like what Cass said, and they're kind of just being like self-independent after that, you know, and then they just reach out and say, oh, is this good? Like, should I add anything else, or is this what I should send?
Okay, cool. So, how, you kind of just answered, like when someone goes like MIA, you reach out to them 3 times, and then after that, you just kind of like.
Yeah, it's like the third strike is kind of like, you know, if they haven't answered me, then, you know, there's not much I can do. I'm just going to focus on the people who want to work with me.
How, so like you guys pop a lot of diamonds on your teams. How do you implement, like, how do you get the layered leadership rolling with the people that you choose to work with and use as like your leaders for your promotions?
I mean, I just put my girls in chats, you know, like, let's say like I'm helping a girl go diamond, like I get on her FaceTime with her first, and I'm making sure she understands what a diamond chart is, what it's going to take, and how she's going to have to, if I'm placing underneath her, she's going to have to be in contact with all these girls, you know. And I explained to her, you know, you want to be a leader, like you want to be there for your team, even though I'm enrolling them, they're on your team now, you know. And then from there I'm helping, you know, and then I'm in contact with the emerald and the ruby, and I'm telling her she needs to do the same thing. So she's reaching out. And then with the rubies, you know, they're reaching out. So that's kind of like how I do it. I just tell them, you know, what their next goal is. And I show them the charts and I answer any questions that they have, and they know what they need to be doing with enrolling and stuff. And then if I place, they know to reach out, or I put them in a group chat and just say, hey girl, this is Steph. She's one of your teammates, and she's going to be helping you with all the questions that you need alongside with me too. So we're in a chat and we're both helping that one girl, you know, but it's mostly the person I place under rather than me answering the questions, just because, and if she doesn't know a question, she'll text me outside the group chat and she'll be like, hey Nay, like, how do I respond to that? So she's responding more than I am. So the girl feels more comfortable going to her, you know? So that is kind of what I've been doing with my girls, and it's been working out really good.
Okay, awesome. I know you guys are like huge on personal development. How do you go about like getting your girls to get into doing that regularly?
I mean, I heard Carrie Young say it once, and it literally stuck with me. Like, if you want your income to grow, you have to grow your mind. So if you don't believe that you can become a diamond making $2,000 a month, you're never going to do it. And same thing with double and triple. I feel like double to triple is a huge jump, because, you know, you can get to double diamond, you can make $4,000 to $5,000 a month. That's a great income. That's probably what the average American makes. But $10,000 a month, like that's a huge jump, right? That's like life changing. And I feel like a lot of people get stuck at double because they don't believe that they're worthy or that they're able to make $10,000 in 1 month. So that also just comes down to literally self-developing. Like, you have to grow your mind to be able to grow your paycheck. So if you want to move to the next level and you want to promote and rank and you want to become a millionaire with this business, you have to do self-development. And there's so many different ways that you can do this. Like, you can watch YouTube videos from like Jade. Like, I love watching Carrie and Tiffany. They always fire me up. Like, there's literally countless amounts of videos and books and things you can read and listen to. But you just need to be doing something to grow your mind, especially like if you're more of a negative person than not. Some people are just positive naturally and some people aren't, you know what I mean? Like, I know Emily in the beginning, she's one of my leaders. She suffered from a lot of anxiety and depression, and she was like the most negative person ever. So she is constantly playing the self-development in the background like 24/7 because she physically needs it, because she needs to be filling her mind with good stuff 24/7. someone like me who's not necessarily, like, my brain isn't programmed to think that way, I guess, all the time. So I don't need to do it as much. I think it honestly just depends person to person, like what you need to listen to and how much you need to listen to it. But it all just comes down to, like, if you want to make more money, you have to grow your mind. So, I mean, there's tons of videos we're always sharing. If I see like a good video on YouTube or a good Facebook Live, like, I'll share it into the group page and people will go and watch it. So I love doing that.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Do you guys get on the phone or like meet up with people to seal the deal with customers? I mean, with distributors, or is it usually through texting?
I mean,
you can go.
I mean, for me, I will, like, if someone's like asking a ton of questions, I just send them a text and say, hey girl, like, can I give you a call? We can go over all of your questions and it'll be much easier that way. And they're like, oh yeah. So we get on the phone, and usually like 98% of the time when I'm on the phone with someone, I sign them up, like, right on the spot, because I answer all their questions. I create the sense of urgency, and I tell them, especially right now with the Emerald bonus, I always say, like, I only have a couple spots left, on my team, and I'm like, I only have like this amount of spots left, and I'm only training this amount of people to go Emerald and give them my undivided attention. And I want you to claim one of those spots. Like, are you ready right now to get started? And they're usually like, yeah. Or if they say, like, or if they say, oh, can I think about it? I usually say, what's holding you back? And I always try to dig deeper. And if they're like, oh, fear, or oh, money, or oh, I don't think I'm going to be successful, I always come back at them with something. And they're like, you know what, you're so right. Like, I'm just going to do it. But, if some say, like, oh, I'm busy right now, I'll just text them. And sometimes I've been using like voice messages as well, and it's been working out good for me.
Okay, cool. How do you bring up the auto ship with potentials?
The ADBV?
Yeah.
I don't bring it up unless they ask me. I don't make it a priority, honestly. I just tell them it's 100% optional. I mean, I personally didn't run an auto ship like my first 2 months, so I probably couldn't have afforded it. So I wouldn't really expect someone brand new to afford it, but I do explain like why it is important, but that it is optional in the beginning. Once someone starts to grow a team, I just basically tell them that it's mandatory. And if they want to promote, and if they want to make money and they want to promote, move up in rank, they need it, the auto ship. Like, it's 100% mandatory. Like, you can't grow in the business without it, keeping customers and stuff. But right off the bat, I don't make it mandatory. I just tell them that it's optional.
And if someone's like, when you're talking to a PDT, if they're like, well, what kind of fees are there? Do you tell them about the $20 website fee?
Yeah, so if they do ask, I will tell them that, but I just tell them that it saves us a lot of money because we don't have to keep stock of products, because I know a lot of other companies, you have to keep stock. So right. I tell them everything's pulled off our website, so it's saving us money because we don't have to buy and then resell. And then I also just tell them that you're going to be making way more than $20 a month, obviously, if you're working at it. And it could also be shut off anytime. So it's not like something stuck with. So I just like tell them that, and they're always usually cool with it.
Okay, yeah, because like I see sometimes like leaders posting and saying like, like no website fees, no auto ships, no this, no that. And like, I would never tell someone personally like, oh, it's optional for you to like have your website, because who the hell wants to call in all those orders? Like, that's crazy. So I always tell people like, it's $20 a month for your website, and that's your only mandatory overhead. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have to buy products if you don't want to. So this last question, it's pretty vague, but someone would like to hear an overview of like how your PDT convos go and any other tips that you have for signing up distributors.
So for me, I usually just, it's usually them messaging me on Instagram, or they send me a text, and I say, like, if they message me on Instagram, I'm like, hey girl, it's so great to hear from you. What's your number? I'll text you all about it. It's so much easier than DM. So then I text them, and then I'm like, hey girl, it's Nayara from Instagram. So you're interested in learning more about what I do? And they're like, yeah. So then I send a very short script about what I do. It just talks about, you know, what I do is I market for It Works. I don't keep stock of the
Do
products.
you say
Everything's sold on
that?
my
Do you say
website.
I market for It Works, or do you say a health and wellness company?
No, I say, so what I do is I market for It Works. It's a script that I got when I joined, and I've been using that since I joined. And then they usually go into like asking like, oh, okay, so like you don't keep stock of anything, like you just, how do you get customers? And I explained to them that I work my business on Instagram. I can reach out to everyone from all over the world. I just follow new people and I grow relationships with people through social media. And then they usually ask like, oh, okay, like how would I join and do this? And then I send them the to join script along with like the Fit 5 pack. And I tell them that they're going to get this for free in their kit. And then, you know, obviously after that, they're like, oh, okay, well, how do I know that, you know, I'm going to be making my money back? Or how do I know that I'm going to be successful in this? And I'm always reassuring them like, girl, like, I know what it feels like to be scared. And I know what it feels like to join this business and not know what you're doing, but I'm going to be here for you every step of the way. Like, I'm going to teach you how to follow, message, and post, and I'm going to teach you how to have good conversations with your customers. You know, and I'm just always reassuring them that I'm going to be there for them every step of the way, and they're never going to be alone. So that is kind of like how all my conversations go. It's usually like a lot of questions, but I always like answer them. I always answer only what they're asking for and never more than that. And I usually keep it very short and simple. And sometimes they ask like, oh, how do we get paid? And I have this script that says like, oh, our compensation plan is amazing. We make commission off of our personal sales, our team sales. We make weekly bonuses, and I usually add in, this is our monthly average income chart. You pick a number and I can teach you how to get there. And I attach the income chart with it too when they ask how we get paid. And I just try to keep it as simple as I can, just so they understand that the business is very simple.
Do you feel like you just like gain their trust through like just reassuring them like that you're going to be there with them every step of the way?
Yeah, actually, one girl was about to sign up one day this week, and she was like not answering me. So I sent her a voice message, and I'm like, girl, like seriously, like what's holding you back? Like, and I just got real with her. I was like, I know what it feels like to be scared, but honestly, like you're telling me right now you're so broke that you can't even afford to pay your cell phone bill. Like, wouldn't you want to, you know, make a change and join this business and be able to do something better, you know? And I just literally put it into perspective for them. And I'm like, you know, the only way you'll fail at this business is if you quit. Because if you're working with me and if you're doing what I'm teaching you to do, you will make money. You know, and just me sounding confident and telling her like that she's going to be successful in this business if she doesn't quit. She like literally she's like, oh, okay, like you convinced me. That's what she said to me. You know, and it only takes her hearing my confidence to convince her, because all people want is reassurance that you're going to be there for them, that you're like going to help them, and you're not just helping them join and like throwing them off, you know, and doing their own thing. You know, that's what people want, is just reassurance.
Yeah, it's so true. Do you sign up a lot of distributors like same day, or is it a lot of follow-ups?
It depends. Like sometimes it'll be the same day. Sometimes it'll be follow-ups, but I follow up every single day. So, you know, usually like it'll be a conversation tonight and I'll follow up tomorrow, and then maybe I'll get her signed up tomorrow. Usually that's how it goes. Or if not, I'll sign them up on the spot. But, you know, usually it's like more follow-ups than just, you know, signing them up on the spot, which is
And
okay.
like,
You know, people just have to think on it, but I always like follow up the next day so it's fresh in their mind, so they're not like letting other thoughts get into their head.
yeah, I don't remember if it was Stephanie or if it was Emily that was saying like pretty much like everyone that they sign up is within 3 days of the first time that they talked to them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
that's
just
basically
literally
for me too.
follow up every day.
Yeah, because when I was following up on just Fridays, like I would sit down for like almost like 7 hours and be following up with people, you know, because I would get distracted, I would post, and then I'd be answering messages and following, you know, and it just got too much. So I follow up every single day, and then on Friday I follow up from the people I talked to on Thursday, and then I go through my messages and just make sure I didn't miss anyone from that week, because sometimes there'll be people that I missed. And that's kind of what I do, is just follow up every single day, just because it's fresh in their mind and I want to get them signed up before they, you know, change their mind.
Yeah, definitely. So this wasn't one of the questions that I had sent you, but I was thinking about it today. So like you went diamond, like you specifically went diamond super fast, and then it was like almost a year that went by, and then you went back to back double, triple. Like what happened? Like was it like a mind shift change that was like, okay, like I gotta just
Conference
do
happened.
this? That was it, conference?
Yeah. I went diamond, and then, you know, I was still, I work my business every single day, and I've never not worked my business since the day I joined. But, you know, I don't know. It was like, I can't really say there was anything wrong. It's just when I went to conference, like it changed everything for me. And I brought my leaders with me that were promoting too, and it changed everything for them. So we all like literally like promoted together. Like I promoted to double that month and then triple the next month. And it was like crazy. And then literally was triple for a year and then went to conference last year in 2016 and promoted to presidential that month.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, I wouldn't say that was my, I mean, it could have been my mindset. Maybe I could have been doing a little more self-development, you know, but, you know, it just, I got re-inspired again at conference, you know, and it just helped me dream bigger because maybe I was a little comfortable where I was at Diamond, and I was kind of forgetting that I had so many more lives to change and help people promote, because I was a diamond, you know, so that only meant I had an emerald and a ruby on my chart. You know, no one else was like fighting for anything like I was, you know, like when
Mhm.
you start to go like diamond and then double and triple, like people are fighting, people are working hard, people are enrolling, you know, like it's just kind of, I feel how it works, you know. And when I went to conference in 2016, I just got like inspired again, and it was all with me, and they helped, you know, we all worked together and we just promoted that month.
Do you feel like your like work ethic changed at that point to like get those charts
Um,
filled? I feel like double to triple is a huge jump because it's a whole nother leg that you have. Like when you're going from diamond to like emerald to diamond, you already have the two legs growing. You're going from diamond to double, you already have the two legs growing. Then you go to triple and it's a whole nother leg.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just like, I literally always say there's nothing like whipping out a brand new diamond chart and like literally looking at it and saying, okay, I need to fill this. It's just like the sense of urgency, like literally, like that's all it was that month. Um, you know, I remember on March 1st, it was like literally I prayed. I was like, because I had no third leg, I prayed to God. I was like, God, send me my next rock star. And it's so crazy because this girl, I had been following up with stopped answering me, and then she texted me on March 1st, and was like, okay, I'm ready. And then Mark announced the bonuses were back that month or something like that. And, you know, I was like, I was like confident that she was the one that was going to be my diamond. You know, I kept her on my top line. I'm like, hey girl, like, are you ready? Like, this is what we need to do. You know, and we got it done. Like, she was brand new and she enrolled. She was like matching my efforts. She was just excited. You know, it just starts with you. And I feel like she felt that I was just excited and ready to go. And, you know, she knew she had to work with me to change her life. And that's what we did. You know, there's just no overthinking it. We just did it. We both enrolled. We taught our team, okay, enroll, get 4 customers. And it was just like a ripple effect, literally. And like that's exactly how literally like I'm helping a girl go diamond on my team, and her chart was completely empty like 7 days ago, and now there's only 6 spots left. You know, so it's
Insane.
there's literally what?
I said that's insane. That's so good.
That's like it, but it's nothing like you know, there's no secret. It's just we're enrolling, we're working together. I'm in a group chat with the girl that we're helping go diamond in my double, and we were just really helping her with conversations. The 3 of us are placing on that chart, like it's going good, you know, and
Yeah.
we're helping our newbies enroll and get those 4 customers. Like we're making it super like intentional with the people that we're talking to enrolling, and like we're helping this girl have good conversations with the people she's talking to so she can enroll too.
That's so good. What was I just gonna say? Oh, so like when you're charting for like any of your promotions, is it you're just like whipping out diamond charts and charting that way? Or do you have like a huge triple or a huge double or you know, like you have
Honestly,
these like
I made
obnoxious.
one. I made one, but it was super overwhelming for me. Like I printed out a huge ambassador chart and it was just very overwhelming
Like
for me to
I'm
look
gonna
at
throw
it that
up.
way. So yeah, so I have like individual charts. Like that's kind of how I do it, just because it was, some people can do that. It was just
Breaking it
overwhelming for
down,
me.
making it not as
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, it was
For
just
sure.
overwhelming. So, like I'm helping a girl go triple on my team. So we have, a double and two diamonds. Instead of me having this huge blown up ambassador chart with this triple on there, like I'm just
Yeah.
keeping it simple for me and for her, just because I don't know, it's overwhelming for me to look at it.
I blew up a triple chart and had it hanging on my wall, and it made me want to throw up. So
Yeah, so I
now
keep
I'm
it very
I
simple.
have like 2 diamond charts out.
Yeah, I have like little charts.
Yeah, just do it that way.
Yes.
Love that. Okay. Any last tidbits of advice before we hop off of here? I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to do this tonight.
The biggest tip that I can give is just being consistent. Like there's no secret to being successful in this business. It's just consistency. Like, that is like the number one thing that has helped me become successful in this business is being consistent. I've never made excuses as to why I couldn't work my business. When I first joined this business, 4 months later, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I remember like working my business harder than ever. For me, I cope with my problems working my business. People are different. But I remember being at her appointments and working, being bedside after surgery working. There was just no excuses as to why I couldn't work, because we're all on our phones anyways, like we can make it work if we want to. And I did. So I made it work, and being consistent is the biggest thing that I can tell you all to be. And that's what will take you to the top. Because if you're doing the same things over and over again, you're going to see success. Okay, that's right.
I love that. And just to add in there, never getting comfortable. I mean, even now as an ambassador, I don't think at any rank I was ever comfortable with the amount of money I was making. I always wanted more, and it's not wrong to want more. It's not like greedy. God wants us to live in abundance. And obviously, when you make more money, you're helping more people make money, and you're doing good things with your money. Like I'm able to give back and do so many things that I wouldn't have been able to do without this business. So don't get comfortable at ruby, emerald, diamond, above. Like don't ever get comfortable. Like keep working for the next level, because there's so many people that there's so many people out there for you to help. So that would just be my tip.
Love that. So good. Thank you guys so much for doing this with us tonight. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Enjoy
No
Florida.
problem.
I'm so jelly. I'm like, I want to be in Florida still. It was so nice when we were down there for conference. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Have a good week. Everything. We really
Thank you. You too.
Great. Thanks, guys.